Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome to our Unit 1 learning lesson for UNIV 109 Interpersonal Communication. I'm your instructor. I'm Brian Henson. And today, I thought I'd just run through just kind of a quick learning lesson that I think is really neat about interpersonal communication. First and foremost, just a couple things. We are starting out. This is our first week here together. So I thought I'd just run through some basic things to keep in mind as we go through the course. So let's get started there. So I'm Brian Henson, and hopefully you've known me from the weekly announcements that I've sent out so far. I think I've sent out about 2 or 3 so far. They're going to come out weekly, usually in the beginning, to let you know that we are working on a new unit. Okay, so expect those sometime on Wednesday afternoons, maybe Wednesday mornings. Okay, and I do try to send out a redundant one through email. Look for discussion posts from me. For every discussion assignment that's out there, I'm going to try to respond to as many students as I can throughout the week. I'm also going to post my own discussion board, so feel free to reply to that. Don't forget to get your postings up by Friday, everybody, okay? Get your first posting up by Fridays. Put it on your calendar. Okay. I also go into IntelliPath, and I usually start Thursday afternoons and start looking at what you've done so far or what you haven't done so far and try to get you motivated to go in there and do the best that you can so you can get the highest score possible. Don't forget that you can revise all of your IntelliPath lessons for more points throughout the entire course, all the way through Unit 5. Okay. And when I do go in and I grade your discussion boards, expect to get your grades no later than the end of Fridays for the previous week's assignments. Okay. Always feel comfortable to email me or instant message me anytime you have a question during the week. I get back to students within 12 to 24 hours of their message. So let me know how I can help you out. I want you to be successful with the course. So the handshake. It's something that we are all familiar with. Some of you might have been taught how to give a proper handshake. And I just wanted to kind of roll through things. I thought it was a good way to start off an interpersonal communication course by talking about a very common greeting that we all do. Okay. So what is the history of the handshake? Okay. Why do we shake hands with people? Did you ever wonder why we do that? It seems like a pretty weird thing. You grab another individual's hand and you move it up and down, and now you're friends, right? Now there's trust established. Okay. And we've been doing it for a really long time. We do it in professional settings. We do it to settle arguments, to show goodwill. Anytime that we're in an interview or meeting somebody for the first time, what do? We stick out our right hand, we grab it firmly, we move it up and down a few times, and you tell the person, how are you? My name is whatever. Okay. But it's been around for a really long time. It originated back in 5th century Greece, okay, BC. And you got to remember, or you got to know if you're not a history buff, that these were really violent times. Okay. Society was a lot smaller. Our villages were separate from each other, and there were vast distances that we had to travel to get from one place to another. And while we were traveling these vast distances and there was nobody else around, there was no law, there was no order. So you'd have roving bandits that would basically attack weary travelers and take what they had and hurt them and even kill them. Okay. So, and in times of war, it was a real violent time. You had all these little city states that were taking over each other's territories. So, it wasn't the best time to be a human being just wandering around in the wilderness. So, once people began to get a little bit more civilized, and it started with the Greeks they get a lot of credit for this, for establishing the society that we have today. What do you do when you meet a stranger for the first time? Okay. And you want to make sure that they're not going to smack you in the head with a rock and take all your stuff. You put out your right hand. Okay. Your right hand, in biblical times, ancient times, all the way through today. Most people are right-handed or right-hand dominant. If you are going to stab somebody with a sword or hit them with a rock, you're probably going to use your right hand. So you stick out your right hand to show the other party that you're unarmed. And even better, let me grab your right hand and we're going to move it up and down to see if any little knives or anything come popping out. Okay. Like I'm sure you've heard of the, nothing up my sleeve has been said. So, and it basically shows the other person you don't mean any harm, no funny business, I'm not trying to trick you. And it sets the stage for direct and honest communication, which, that's how society grew. Trade improved, relations improved. You were able to settle disputes without, firing up your armies to go attack the other person's village. Okay. And it helped build trust. Okay. Which, as you're going to learn if you haven't already, in interpersonal communication, in order to become a more competent communicator, you've got to trust the people that you're talking to or the people that you're listening to. So it's evolved over the years. Okay, you've got the fist pump. We've come up with greetings that we use electronically when we're emailing or texting people. We have certain things that go through that. It's a big deal if you are in a professional sports, doing a really crazy handshake, the high five, the forearm bump. Okay. It's taken a hit, obviously, with COVID because everyone was trying not to spread germs. But it's still very important in communication today. Okay. Whether you're meeting somebody for the first time socially or you are interacting with somebody on a professional level, the handshake is always a good way to start a conversation, to begin a greeting, and to, end a fruitful meeting. So hopefully you learned a little bit about, what it goes into interpersonal communication. All right. Again, I'm Brian Henson. I'm here to help you out through the course. Don't be shy about contacting me. I will talk to you later.